My own mother thought I was a monster. She was right, of course, but it still hurt.
Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Doorags here. This is going to be a quick video. It's going to be a very different video. I'm trying something new. And it's also going to be scriptless, in case you couldn't tell. You guys know how amazing I am at scriptless videos. But basically, I wasn't planning on making this video, but I found out that this is happening and it was just invading my thoughts. I was working on other videos, but I kept thinking about this. So I was like, okay, let me get something quick and done out there just so my thoughts are out there and I'm part of the conversation, because I want to be a part of this conversation, and you know how the internet works. A week from now, this will be old news. Before I proceed, though, you probably should know that this is going to, there's some thoughts I was saving for my AART videos, my art videos. There are some thoughts I was saving for that, and in this video, I'm going to kind of spoil some of those thoughts. So if you are waiting to like hear my thoughts on Azula or anything involving her, you might want to like dodge this video. But anyway, Azula is getting a new comic book, and in said comic book, she's going to be facing her chance at redemption. Now, normally I don't really pay attention to the Atla comic books. I love Atla, I'm very passionate about Atla, but the comics, I just can't be bothered. Really just laziness on my end. The only one that's looked interesting to me is the one about finding Zuko's mom. Or at least that's in it. I don't know what that one's actually about, but the one that has finding Zuko's mom in it, or details about Zuko's mom in it, that's the only one that looks interesting to me. But this one immediately caught my eye because it's on Azula, my favorite character in the entire franchise. And it said something that I think is like the epitome of someone who doesn't understand this character, in that she faces her chance at redemption. Yeah, that just immediately struck a chord with me as something you should not do. Like, it doesn't say she's going to be redeemed, just that she gets a chance at redemption. But even then, I think that's an instinctively bad choice when you know who this character is. Now, a lot of people are actually encouraging this decision, and a lot of people are saying that they like it, either because they like Azula and they just want to see her in something else. It doesn't matter what, as long as they can see her in something else, they'll enjoy it. Or they're making excuses for her. A lot of people are saying, well, she had mommy issues.
I could sit here and complain how our mom liked Zuko more than me, but I don't really care.
A lot of people are saying she was deprived of attention from her mother, so the only attention she could get was from her father, who was a monster, and her father and the Fire Nation as a whole groomed her to be this monster. She was only 14 when she did all those horrible war crimes, so we need to give her a chance at redemption because she was only 14, and that would be the fair thing to do. I think this mentality is irrelevant, but at the same time, I think it needs to be rebutted, because are you saying that if Azula was like older, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, then she shouldn't get a chance at redemption, even if like she was repentant of what she did? I get what people are coming from. You know, we're more forgiving of younger people. I too have that notion, but Atla was a show that was all about kids and the agency of these kids. These really young kids were forced to make really hard choices, and when they made the wrong ones, it came back to bite them. Aang specifically made some wrong decisions, and as the Avatar, that hurt the world with those decisions he made. Now, of course, we're more forgiving of him. He's young, and we say all the time, you know, this is a hard thing for anyone to have to go through, let alone a kid, but it still emphasizes the impact of his decisions. He made them, and the failures are his responsibility to deal with. And also, we love to praise these kids when they make good decisions, but suddenly when they make bad decisions, it's time to take away their agency. Like, no, I don't. I'm not down with that idea. But again, I don't even feel like that's relevant, because for me personally, when it comes to people, I think pretty much anyone can be redeemed if they are truly repentant. That's my real life philosophy on people. Now, I know that's probably going to be tested sometime in the future, but for now, that's how I feel about life. However, I do not extend that same courtesy to characters, because when it comes to characters, what needs to be done is best for the character and the story, the character's role in the story. And with Azula specifically, I mean, maybe the comics say something different, because like I said, I haven't really read the comics, but with Azula specifically, it was very obvious that she was not a character who was meant to even be given a chance at redemption. She was a monster from the very start down to her core.
If Uncle doesn't make it back from war, then Dad would be next in line to be Fire Lord, wouldn't he?
Azula, we don't speak that way.
I still think our dad would make a much better Fire Lord than his royal tea-loving kookiness.
We need to destroy their hope.
Well, that's not exactly what
I think you should take their precious hope and the rest of their land and burn it all to the ground.
Fire Lord Azulon. Can't you just call him Grandfather? He's not exactly the powerful Fire Lord he used to be. Someone will probably end up taking his place soon.
What is wrong with that child?
Yes! We defeated you for all time! You will never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation! That was fun.
She was basically the dark future of the Fire Nation. If Aang didn't do his job, Ozai was the future of the world. If Zuko didn't do his job, Azula was the future of the Fire Nation. She had all the bad parts of the Fire Nation and she embraced them. Even Iroh puts down the option of peacefully coming to terms with her. He directly tells Zuko, like, no, she needs to go down. She is crazy.
I know what you're gonna say. She's my sister and I should be trying to get along with her.
No, she's crazy and she needs to go down.
So it kind of baffles me that people think that she deserves a chance of redemption because she was an evil character. She was not meant for that type of thing to happen. The show makes this very, very clear. She believes that there are people who are meant to rule and that she and her father are at the very top of that hierarchy.
You were born with nothing, so you've had to struggle and connive and claw your way to power. But true power, the divine right to rule, is something you're born with.
And she uses fear to make sure she stays up there. This is why at the end, she goes into that crazy mental state because her entire worldview is questioned when her friend says she loves someone more than she fears Azula.
Why would you do it? You know the consequences.
You miscalculated. I love Zuko more than I fear you.
No, you miscalculated. You should have feared me more.
That doesn't make sense to her. And she's questioning how love can possibly be stronger. She's questioning how her mother could have loved her, which is why, like, I'm confused why people say she was starving for her mom's attention when Atla made it clear that she had the love of both her mom and her uncle, but she rejected it for the type of lifestyle her father was pushing. But she realizes she had the love of her mother despite the fact that she's a monster. And that's part of the reason why she breaks down. She doesn't understand why her mother could love a monster, that she should have feared her.
Trust is for fools. Fear is the only reliable way. Even you fear me.
No, I love you, Azula.
And it's also why Katara is the person to defeat Azula in the end, because Katara is the symbol of love in Atla, and Azula is the symbol of fear. So they've got this conundrum of love and fear going at each other, and love is the one that triumphs. Thematically, it's all there. Azula is meant to be this evil person who embraces all the evil inside of her. Like, this is since she was a child. People saying that it's influenced into her and all that, I would say that's partially true. But I think the show made it very clear that this was not supposed to be someone who we think about giving a redemption to. This is a tragic story of someone who was born with pretty much everything. And she used as many evil tactics as she could to keep herself on top. And I might be a little presumptuous with this, but I feel like the people who want Azula to get a chance at redemption are looking at what she could be and not at what she is, not at what the show clearly says she is, which is she's a monster. Because the thing is, when you like something, which a lot of people like Azula, I love Azula. Azula is my favorite character, like I said. But when you like something, you want that thing to be presented in a positive way to people. A lot of people accept that Azula is just a really good villain, but some people, they're not really willing to accept that. They need Azula to be presented as a positive thing. Like, she's a great villain, but they need her to be presented as a good person. And I know I'm playing armchair psychology with this. I have no way of proving this, and people could speculate on why I think the way I do. But if Azula is presented in some kind of positive light, it presents the thing they like positively to other people. And, you know, I always look at things and I say potential is fine, but it's important to look at things for what they are. I think we all sometime or another fall into the pit of looking at what something could be. And I think that is still important to do when you're like reviewing stuff and whatnot. But I think it's more important to look at things for what they are and judge them for what they are. And Azula throughout Atla was not meant to be a person who could have a chance at redemption. This is mainly being done probably for like nostalgia purposes. I think this character had a great story. I think it was fantastic. I think she had one of the best arcs in the show, and I think she should be left there. Now, there is the possibility that this will still be a good story. This is a possibility that this could be a fantastic, amazing story. I think any bad idea could become something that's good. The example I always use is Kingdom Hearts. Combining Disney with Final Fantasy characters, that was a dumb idea, but it had a good execution, so it became something good. Another example that's more relevant to this is the Joker movie. Giving the Joker a sympathetic origin story that completely goes against what the character was known for. But the execution was done really well, so it turned out to be an extremely good movie. But I think we need to admit that this was never meant to happen. Azula was not meant to get a chance at redemption, and giving her this goes against what the purpose of the character was, which was that she was a dark future of the Fire Nation. She was the result if Zuko failed. And that was a very bad thing. And I think it's important that we keep that in mind. All right, that's the end of this video. I've got other videos I got to make. Like I said, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. Let me know what you guys think of this. Maybe I'll make some more like quick videos like this if a lot of people like it. I don't know. I'm not sure. This has been Shady Doorags. So long. Farewell. Have Wiedersehen. Goodbye.